Warning, high winds approaching, water level rising, temperature increasing, voltage overloading.
Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a man rapidly running out of storage space. It's too late. Random review is about to begin.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel. I have no idea what day it is because, well, frankly, I'm still out of town and I don't know what order I decided to put these up in. What I did decide is that I needed more random in random review, so we need to talk about something other than a Transformer. So let's talk Mega Man, one of my other obsessions, and this is his brand new figure from ThreeZero, specifically their MDLX line. This Mega Man is, well, appropriately short for a Mega Man. He is standing about 4 inches tall, 3.5, 4 inches tall. He ain't a big boy, and unfortunately, I don't have a good size comparison on hand at the moment. I have the rescue bots. I just did a video for. It's not the best size scale, but you can tell he is small. Yeah, but expect him to be kind of out of scale if you're doing anything with, say, either Figuarts or the Kotobukiya models. Yeah, he's going to be a short stack, but what you're going to get out of this guy is quality. I'm going to just spoil it right now. This is one of the highest quality Mega Man I have ever gotten in my life, and we are going to show you why. For starters, look at the finish on this boy. Like, look at how glossy his bright blue is. You know, when that's supposed to be his main armor, yeah, that just shines so well. You can see, like, it reflects so well. You can tell it's my ring light in every part of his armor. But yeah, like, it's got a really nice gloss to it. You know, and then the undersuit is done in more of a matte color, so it's not reflecting nearly as much. Really kind of points out, like, gives it more like a metallic look, which is really, really nice and appropriate. Also something that I wasn't expecting in this, but for the price I should have, and because of the company I should have, diecast. So he actually has some metal parts on him, specifically the feet. And I don't mean like the underside. The underside feel like plastic caps. It's the top dome of the foot that is metal. Which is how you hear that little click against my glass counter here. Also, the light blue portions of his helmet are also die-cast. I'm not entirely sure why portions of the helmet were done in die-cast. On the feet, I get it. Die-cast around the bottom, that drops his center of gravity and makes him, like, far less prone to tipping over. Okay, die-cast in the feet works really well. Die-cast in the head, not so much, but it is a very small amount. Just not sure why they threw it in is all. You'll also find a few die-cast parts if you look internally, because what's holding his wrists on are also made of metal. So there's a few parts here that are going to hold up a little bit better over time than your standard plastic joints, which is also good to see. Yeah, and then you can see, just like detailing-wise, I can't zoom in with my current setup, but you can tell, like, they put some really good detail into the paint on his face, all around, just really, really clean. There are a few things about the toy that really set him apart from just standard Mega Man figures that I've seen. I'm kind of jumping the gun here to get to articulation, but I do want you to kind of see what we got going on here. Specifically, if we look at the elbows, you can see this piece right here. You see that gap, a little bit of black there? That black gap is going to vanish as I bend because he has multiple layers of elbow. And if I go further, he's going to start bending at the bicep instead of at the actual armor piece. And then you can see the elbow that it gets exposed when I do that. So it's this faux piece right here that kind of moves along with the arm and kind of sinks in, which helps it have this smooth look all the way around. No matter what position it's in. That's a really, really cool trick, and I haven't seen other Mega Man toys do that. another nice little trick, how they handled the wrists. So you can see how well it's cut into it, because Mega Man, in his standard artwork, yeah, his hand and his forearm armor is the same piece. So getting that to convey and still having articulated hands gets to be tricky. But the hand is cut so that it's kind of like, as you move it and work the joint, it's just very buttery smooth against the forearm armor. So there's very rarely a gap or separation. It just always kind of flows together really nicely. It's a very, very tight piece of engineering. I really, really like how that's done. Yeah, so if you want to go into like full articulation breakdown, I know it's a little bit early because we still have a bunch of accessories to get into. But yeah, obviously the head is ball jointed at the top and the bottom of the neck, so that's tons of articulation there. Shoulders have a butterfly joint to them. You can see the cut. You can see the cut right there for that. So full range of motion in the shoulders. Universal joint attached to the butterfly joint. Bicep rotation. That really deep elbow bend and wrist articulation that we've already talked about and gushed over. Torso joint moves. We have a waist joint, which is kind of tight, but between that and the torso joint, you can get pretty much any natural range of motion. Hips. Yeah, we have plenty of rotation and movement in the hips. Always cool to see. Okay, yeah, that works. You have a thigh rotation in there as well. For the knees, you have a similar situation where you have this false piece that's going to fall into the leg when you bend the knee, which gives you this incredibly deep knee bend. It's so, so good. Yeah, and then, yeah, full ankle rotation. Front, back, left, right. It does everything you need. This is a very highly articulated Mega Man who comes up looking a little bit weird if you just finish demonstrating his articulation and then just leave him that way. But yeah, I'm thrilled with how it came out. Like, even little touches, like you can see like there's translucent red inside the ears and then down at the bottom of his feet too. I love when they remember there's detail on the underside of his feet. Really, really cool to see. I think my only one grievance is that I think his leg armor is maybe just a little bit too thick. I don't know, because on modern Mega Man stuff, they're trying to thin those legs down so they can work better on merchandise and animations. But this just seems like a little bit too big. Maybe just the proportion need to be taken down just a skosh so he had more motion in the legs that was possible. But I don't know, like I said, that's a minor grievance. This is a great figure. I'm not gonna take much away from it for that. And now we get to all the extra bits. So, obviously, if you have Mega Man, you need his arm cannons. So, I'm going to go ahead and disengage the arm there. We're going to make him a righty for the sake of this video. I know traditionally he's a lefty. And there you have the signature Mega Buster. Very quick switch, very easy, just a peg in and out. The Buster itself is done really, really nicely. It works on the same elbow trick as the rest of the arm. You see gold there for the actual indicator for the weapon, and a little bit more of that translucent red in the inside of the barrel. Really, really cool stuff. Now, for a little bit of added fun, we can also take off the cap of the barrel and attach a full-on blast effect. For you old school fans, this would probably be like what the full charge was in Mega Man 4 and what the medium-sized charge was in later games. But yeah, cool to see the blast effect. And actually, again, that's not a method of delivering it that I'm used to. Normally, it would just attach to the front end of the Mega Buster's barrel, but they wanted to make it look a little bit more engulfed around the Mega Buster, so it swaps out the nose, the front end of it instead. So that's actually a really, really neat trick. And I do like the translucence here. Like you can see at the front, it's a lot more pale than it is going to the back. Now, giving you that idea that the energy is blasting forward. It's a really, really cool touch. Yeah, and then you can see the socket inside is solid plastic, so it's not going to be harmful with the translucent. I haven't heard of any issue with this one as far as like fragile translucent or translucent that damages ABS plastic, but doing it like that, pretty much avoids both problems. It's a really, really nice solution. Beyond that, we can also switch out the hands. So both hands get the exact same alternative. If I pop it off, you can see that silver joint in there. That's, again, a metal ball joint. And that just allows us to pop on his open palm hands. Getting this one on is a little bit trickier because there's not a lot of room to work in there, but it does work. And again, just like the other fist, yeah, very smooth blend into the forearm curve. It's a really, really well done job. Yep, so you have that for both sides of Mega Man. Want a little bit more? We can do a little bit more. Let me try to see if I can just put this in his hand, because we have an E-Tank. There we go. The E-Tank doesn't really have a way of like solidly holding on, because frankly, you never really see Mega Man holding the E-Tanks anyway. Is this gonna work? Come on, just Mega, rock. Do me a solid. Just hold, just for a second. Just for a second, man. I just need you to hold this up for just a second. Okay, closest we're gonna get. The canister itself is a translucent blue with silver on the top, and then the E tampographed on the center. It's not the most traditional of E-Tanks. It's a little bit more of the modern design for it. So yeah, this is leaning a little bit more toward like modern Mega Man aesthetic, which I guess is okay, because like the last Mega Man game turned out to be the best selling one. Go buy it if you haven't. It's a really fun retro time. But yeah, maybe I would have preferred something a little bit more classic as far as the E-Tank goes. The E-Tanks I'm familiar with are all solid blue all the way through with a black E. But you know what? It is what it is. I have another item for pickup, because this is actually a special edition of the Mega Man figurine. So because it is the special edition, I also get a 1-up token that I can just display with him. And it is just the classic sprite, which I love to see. If I flip it around, the backside, which you don't normally get to see on these sprites. So yeah, if your Mega Man needs a little bit of extra life, here you go. He's got one just handy waiting for him. It's mostly the only bonus you really get, but yeah, it is something. And then just to wrap us up, we also have an extra face accessory. So Mega Man is normally, a more kind and gentle robot, but he does have his action moments, so we need to equip his face for action. Don't take that out of context. We're going to remove the front side of his helmet. I'm going to give a few of you nightmares. And then we're going to do the Revenge of the Fallen Prime thing and take his face. But we're going to give him another face, so it's okay. It's okay. We're just borrowing the other face for a bit. Borrow your face is not nearly as cool of as a kill line in a movie. And there we go. So the grimace you see here is one of the more traditionally drawn for Mega Man, but it's not to the like cartoonish degree that some of them have. If you look at the Jada Toys Mega Man that's coming out, the upcoming like second release of the Blue Mega Man, that one also has like this grimace, but it's more close to how the artwork looks, and it's a little bit too cartoonish for me. This hits a nice little medium point where, yeah, it just kind of looks like serious in the middle of a fight Mega Man. Okay, let's see if we can end off this video on a cool pose. You've got butterfly joints, which means I should be able to should be able to have you holding onto your weapon with the open hand. There we go. Yeah. Very, very nice. So that is everything you get, and that is the MDLX Mega Man. It does quite a lot. Like I said, this is one of the higher quality Mega Man pieces that I have ever picked up. The joints in this thing are phenomenal, the articulation level. I have very few qualms with it. Mostly just oddity of the diecast in the head and the size of the boots, but really minor stuff. Like, there's some really next level Mega Man engineering going on to give him just like that extra layer of good joints and like smooth flow to all of his components. And yeah, just the right amount of accessories to give me a lot to do with them. So I am very, very happy with him. And I'm looking forward to the X that they're doing as well. Please stop there. This is going to get very expensive for me if you keep going. No, wait, I take that back. Dual Legends Mega Man. I need a Mega Man Bull Nut, and then you can stop. I'm sorry, EXE fans. That's really all we need. But that's it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.